Hey man, this is Robbie. I'm here with Rodney, Kenny, and Rob over here.
Oh, where's the seatbelt?
Yeah, the seatbelt's over there.
This old school car can't figure it out, man.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in my new old station wagon, 88 Cressida wagon, aka Mark II station wagon. Anyways, we're about to go roll up to this place. What is that place called? Yokohama?
Yokohama for Nostalgic 2 days.
Nostalgic 2 days, and we're gonna go for one of the days. We got road trip for the guys. Hey guys, you guys ready to roll?
Let's go!
Yeah! All right, so we made it out here to the Pacifico parking lot. Me and the crew in my GX70J Mark II station wagon. I just picked this thing up just to make it a little cruiser, so I could just carry my single GoPro that I have, my equipment hauler. Old school 88 Cressida Toyota Mark II in Japan. Dual rear wipers keep my sight clear. But yeah, let's, before we roll out there, I want to go ahead and check out some cars in the parking lot here. Super clean R32 Gtr. Got old Hakosukas Skyline. What's up, guys? K car rolling around in the parking lot. Is it a Ferrari? No, it's a Toyota Century. Here you go, man. Honda Civic Shuttle.
You don't see any of these.
They don't have these in the States, huh?
They do, but you don't have.
Oh, really? Another station wagon Y30. Super clean FC. I remember back in the days when they were free, but now they're like super cool.
What about the Mango?
Mango. What do they call a mango? You guys are
kind of round like a mango.
Really?
And they used to be orange.
Mary Skylines. Super sick.
35, 32.
T27. Yeah, man, it's one of my favorites right here. R31 Skyline Sedan. So the front end of this R31. This is a Daruma. I don't know. I'll explain what a Daruma is later, but I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's called. The older Toyota Celica. A92 Sprinter. Yo, Europa.
Represent
Europa. What do they call in the States? Europe? Europa?
They still call it Europa.
Europa, right? So say Europe in English. Yeah, in Japan they call it Europa. Yo, that looks like an old Heyman car. Hey, look at who's here. Iwata's here. I didn't know I was coming over here. He's the owner of FD Japan and MSC. Yo, look at that. That's cool. It's a hologram. Is that what it's called? So I guess because of the virus and stuff, there's not as much people here than where it normally is. But man, these cars are clean. I think I'm gonna be here all day. Uh-oh. And first place I see is Ray's. They also support the FD Japan series. It's Mr. Kato from Ray's. Konnichiwa.
こんにちは。
レーズのホイールっていいですね。
いいですね。
Yeah.
買ってください。
Yeah, please buy Ray's wheels. It's badass wheels. 後で寄ります。So they have some cars on display. They got T37s. These are the old school, or the model that actually fits old school cars as well. And they have a four-door Camry and a Z parked out here. Skyline Japan, top secret. You know they are famous for making the super big power cars with RBs and 2Js, Supras, GTRs, and all that stuff. Man, there's some big name guys standing here just chilling. Old commercials. All right, so we got this is Tomei Sunny. It's got the legendary, I don't know if it's an A engine, but it's got the Tomei motor. And you got booths from shops that are familiar. You guys nowadays too, Tomei got a booth out here. They got a lot of titanium exhausts. Tomei full complete RB26 motor. So this is the OS TC24. This is pretty cool. I saw this at SEMA. They also have a booth. But bam, super clean AE86. You know, I have a very soft spot AE86s, R32 GTRs. Super clean, stock. MR2 AW11. This is a supercharged model, so it's got the 4AGZ in it. I like these cars too, but they're such a pain to work on with the engine in the back. I think the MR2 was, I think it stands for Midship Runabout 2, I think. And this is a 1990 Y31 Nissan Gloria. This thing, I think my brother used to have a gold one, slammed. A lot of the VIP cars in this era started to do like the big fenders and the wide wheels. Probably my most favorite car, which I have one as well. I have a red and black one, but this is a DR30 Skyline. This one's RS Turbo, mine's NA. 2 doors, super clean. It looks like, man, it's fully restored. The seats inside look really nice, redone. I wish mine was like this, but it's not. Mine's faded and old. And man, I've been seeing a lot of FCs lately, maybe in the parking lot and everywhere, but something this clean is, I mean, hard to find, really. I mean, Mazda's RX-7, I think these are the last models that were called the Savannah RX-7. This one's a convertible. They call it the Cabriolet here. Sounds more fancier than just convertible or open top. Now we got the 80s to late 80s area. I'm just gonna walk through real quick. So here's a JZA70 Supra. These are the ones that came up with the wide bodies. The first time the legendary 1JZ motors were in a vehicle. Well, 1JZ twin turbo. So this has a non-VVTi 1J twin turbo in it. That's where it all started. Everybody started making crazy horsepower. And this is the one with the, I think this is the 3.0. It's a turbo limited. This has a 7M in it. I know the 7M engines, turbocharged, probably made a lot of horsepower back in the days for what it was, but I think this is probably the base of where the 2JZ came from. And after 20-30 years, 2JZ is still around making crazy horsepower. And now, earlier we saw the R30 Skyline, and the one I have also has a grille. We called it the slant nose, but it's called the Tekkamen in Japan. These are the Koki, the later models of the R30s. Dude, I remember I went to Nissan, I had an NA, and I went and bought that 4-valve UAC RS turbo sticker and put it on my car even though it was NA. Now, he just opened the hood up for me so I could check out the car or the motor. But man, my engine bay does not look good. But for those of you who don't know, these are called the FJ20ET, and there's many codes where there's a D and a E for some of the motors, but this is back in the days where all FJs were twin cams anyway, so they never put the D for the DOHC abbreviation in the engine, so it's FJ20E or FJ20ET with either an intercooler or non-intercooler. This one doesn't have the intercooler on it, but I think the Kokis actually came with the intercoolers for the first time. And also, this is really cool because this is the first Skyline, well, the second Skyline that didn't have a GTR model. And also, this is the first Skyline that ever came up with a sports engine that's a 4-cylinder. Now, this is the S12, or no, it's the S11 Sylvias. So this is also, you know, the great grandpas of the S chassis, S13s, S14s, and all that stuff. Also here, these are the early 80s, late 70s Sprinter. This is a Sprinter. It's a 1.5, so I don't think it's like the flagship model with the sports model. But a lot of the cars back in the days, they made the non-flagship model motors, but they made them look just like the flagship models with the 2 doors, which is kind of cool. So there's people who didn't care about the motor and going fast, but they like the style. Back in the days, they gave you a lot of selection in cars and what you can have and can't have. All right, more of these Nissan Leopards. They're actually called the Infiniti M30s in the US. Super clean. They're almost like brand new. I mean, the price tags on these are like 7 million yen. They're over 70 grand. Rear wheel drive. Have the VG20 motor or with a turbo on it, or I think just a twin cam, or VG30 non-turbo. But man, these are clean. So they have the later model and the earlier model. These are the earlier models. so-called Zenkis. Damn, look at this display. Like, they overhauled the display with the old school digital panel meters. And here is one of those VG30s. It's kind of got a big head because it's twin cam. The older VGs that came in the Zs are VG30 single cams. And here you go, these are the later model, they're the Koki models of the M30 Infinities. This is the GZ20. This one is the 1G twin cam, twin turbo. This is the SC300s in the US, Lexus SC300s, but then the older model of that, never sold in the US. Rear-wheel drive. They also have the 7M model, which is the 3-liter turbo, 6-cylinder. I used to have one back in the days as well. Now going on to next is the Corona Coupe. This is actually a 78 Corona Coupe. This is 2000 GT, and this is the Lotus Esprit, 1979. Very beautiful. Ooh, it says the Datsun Fairlady. It says 1960. Well, so this is back in the days when cars, a lot of the Japanese cars that were made were they're influenced by the American cars that were sold back in the days where you see from old school movies. But it's very obvious that the color and the way the body line is. And also Datsun, everybody knows Datsun is like the old school name of Nissan, US style, US side name of Nissan. And look at this thing, it's like, where's the front and where's the back? I guess you could tell by looking at the steering wheel. But it says it's a 1957 twin-up Janus. It must be weird sitting in the front and the back. I don't know, I guess you could lie down in the middle. But really cool how it's opened up. I know there's 3-door hatchbacks, but what are these called? 2-door hatchback? Hatch front? Hatch front back? I'm guessing the motor's in the middle. But man, this is a car that I've never seen before. So now over here, there is, I think this is a Datsun. It's a 1937 Datsun 17 sedan. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure these are like the Model T eras. Very, very skinny. I remember the Japanese roads were probably a lot narrower than how it was now. So the car is very, very narrow. I mean, let me count how many steps wide this thing is. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4.5 of my feet wide. Very narrow cars. Now this is the Skyline. This is the Prince Skyline. It's a 1979 Prince Skyline. This is like the super great granddads of the GTRs and all that stuff. Oh man, it's cool. It also has a Tokyo Olympic sticker on it from back in 1964. Now these are a little bit more current, but there we go. That I'm pretty sure this is somebody's day era, but actually a stereo car. There's subs and stuff in it, but this is an older Bluebird station wagon. It's got work wheels on it, pretty cool. And now this thing right here says Super Deluxe. It's an older Crown. I think it's like probably mid-60s. Old S30Z. The race car like headlight covers, works over fenders. This has actually, it's wrapped, I think. It's half something. Now more of the Ken Marys, these are popular. It's all smoothed up in the back with the tail lights. Very old school style. And I believe this is Mizuno Works. They specialize in these old school cars. Now this is a Toyota Town Ace. Man, I remember back in the days, it's like everybody's dad had one. It's like the old family car that you used to have when I was a kid. So now these are the Liftback Celicas. This is the probably mid-70s to late 70s Toyota Celica. They also sell these in the States. It's pretty cool. It says car's 1977. I'm born 1977, so we're same age. We age pretty good together. This is the old Nissan President. This is super cool. It's got the old classy look, moon eye look, lowrider look. Wow, and then this one's actually sold, but this is a Nissan Laurel. I think it's a 79. And one of these, here we go, Y30, big bumper. I don't know if this is Cedric. This is Cedric. I actually had one a few months ago, but not the big bumper one. The big bumper ones, the bumpers stick out more. It looks a lot meaner. These are always cool. Have the mesh wheels, usually slammed. Price tag is 2.45 million. This is a 1969 Datsun in the US, well in Japan, Fairlady Z. In the US, it's a Datsun convertible. And this is actually the 4-door one, but this is the older Toyota March II. It says 1971. Or Summit, why am I saying it? Sammit's here. Okamura's here. He's an old school S chassis guy. Watch his page. He has his own page. They all do YouTube, so they got everything. But he's got his own shop in Yashio. Very, very famous guy. Drifting and grip racing, all kinds of stuff. Both of you guys. So that's Oka-chan. As I was telling you earlier, that he has his own YouTube channel too. Check him out. He's all Nissan Silvia guy. Like just straight Silvia. So that was weird. Anyway, that was like a super Silvia guy, Silvia master in Japan. And here's Samit. He's also, you have Silvia Skyline.
Yeah, I got a S15 and a Skyline as well, yeah.
And you're from Australia, right?
Australian, yeah.
Australia. Everybody probably seen him more than me.
I'm pretty
excited. Go check out his stuff. Yeah. And go check out his stuff too.
Let's do it.
All right, so more cars, Hakosukas. It's cool, it's got some carbon headlight covers. It says number 7 racing products. We got some over fenders. This is the SA22C Rotary. I think this might be the first Rotary turbo model Mazdas they ever made. And this is also, I think this is a Mazda Cosmo. This also has a rotary in it. I think this might be like a 12A carb. More Z's, L engines. Super cool. Oh, this is actually Holden. Oh, it's an RB30 motor, which was never sold in Japan, so they're all imported. This is the TS Sunny. Over fenders, really nice. It's got the lip on it, pretty cool. 4-door Hakosukas. It's a Nissan Laurel. This is almost like a Mary Skylines. Same chassis, I think, with the L engine and stuff like that. But I think these are a lot rarer as a body. Probably didn't sell as much. And these are the more stock things. There's a Z, stock Z, full original. Oh wow, it's got, I think this is a 432Z. I think the 432 stands for the engine. It's a 4-valve, triple carb, twin camshaft. I think that's what the 432 is. But these come with the legendary S20 engines. This is a 2-liter twin cam, 6-cylinder. Also, this is actually the real Skyline GTR. It's a 4-door, but it's a GTR. Man, full original. The S20 motor in it, 6-cylinder twin cam. Okay, so this is a Toyota Sport 800. Call it the Yoda Hachis because it's a Toyota Hachi is an 800cc smaller cars, sports cars. It's cute little car. Now it says this is an automatic, but let me see what this is. Old Z, but it has a, it's like a resto mod. It's the RB25 Neo motor and it's an NA. And it's an auto tranny. So the shifter area looks like a R34 Skyline, off R34 Skyline. So I think this motor is out of R34 Skyline as well. But man, that's pretty cool to have something this old with a heart in it that's this new. やっぱりそうだ。34 Skyline, S30Z. So everything was swapped over. Automatic tranny with the RB25DE. It's got the dual Transmatic, so it's got the automatic manual type shifter, multi-link suspension front and back, R34 AC, R34 power steering swap. Crazy. And now this is actually an S14. You know what that is, 240SX, but it's got an L engine in it. So this is like the backwards of that car where there's an old school car with the new school motor in it. This one actually has a newer car with the old school motor in it. And this is also a swapped L engine inside one of these Y30 station wagons. Very beautifully made. Dude, this is, well, it says GTR and I'm pretty sure it is probably a real GTR, but it's a GTR Hakosuka. Man, and that is pretty dope. It's like one of those old school license plates. Doesn't look like the plates they have now because of the numbers and stuff, but then they have all the engine parts, everything sold. So man, my brother used to have one of these too, but I think it's the 10 Celsius. In the States, it's a Lexus Ls400. Older Z. The different front ends. I think they call that the G-nose front end. And this one, the S30 front ends. 2-door Mary Skyline, early 70s or mid 70s, I believe. And these are the earlier 70s Hakosuka Coupe. Honda freaks out there. It's a Honda City Turbo 2. back in the days, Honda did make a turbo in one of these. It's front wheel drive. I think it's like a 1.2 liter or something like that turbo. And I think Honda actually gave these little mopeds called Moto Compos. You can take the handles off or move them, and you're able to put it in the back of this little mini car. So it's kind of a cool, it's like a recreational vehicle. You can go to somewhere in this car, jump off, and go and venture in your little moped. But those mopeds are super pricey as well now. This is very beautiful. Our fenders and Z's. Man, there's a lot of Z's. All nice. Now let's go through some older classic cars that aren't as popular and aren't around as much as the other ones we have. But man, I have no idea what this is. Oh, Suzuki Fronte. I have no data, no knowledge on this. And man, this is sold. I don't even know what this is, but oh, this is an older Sunny. Wow, this is sold. I think it's the RX Savannah Coupe. Barrett, Isuzu. Isuzu used to make cars. They had these 117 Coupes. And also these Isuzu Geminis. These are all rear-wheel drives. This is a Datsun 1000 sedan. And I am guessing it's very, very old. It does say it's from 1958. Doesn't look like a car from the 50s. You see a lot of these. These are the Sunny trucks. It has a Hakosukas style front end conversion on it. Very beautiful. That's pretty cool that they have a lineup for actually classic cars. And they said that they did have like this HF Type D. I used to see these all the time back in the days when I was like 16 or something like that. But they're actually sold long time ago. And they just kind of brought it back. They still had them available outside of Japan, but being back in Japan for the classic cars is pretty cool, where you can have the whole look with the car, the period correct style, HF Type D. Now these are the EP71 Starlets Turbo. These are really fast actually. My brother used to have one of these as well. Nissan March. I think this is probably the Super Turbo. The Super Turbo. Yep. It has a supercharger and also a turbocharger on it, the dual charger. Rusty Hakosuka, but I think it's got the rat rod look. It does have rust, but everywhere else underneath it looks like it's been restored. The engine bay, the end motor looks like this is actually pretty cool. The interior is beautiful. Everything is pretty much new, minus the rust and everything. That's kind of cool. And this is not vinyl. This is actual rust. But it's surface rust, so I think you can get rid of it. But this is kind of a cool rat rod look. Wow, this is a Rolls-Royce Coupe. Never seen one of these, but that's baller right there. Price tag on it is 8 million yen, 8.8 million yen. Here's a Mazda Capela Rotary Coupe. And here is a S800 Honda. This is old school. This came out back in, I think, like the 60s or something like that, when all these little tiny coupes were a trend. And now this is also a Sunny Coupe. I just can't believe how clean these cars are. This is a 4-door Skyline. Now this is the short nose, where it has a 4-banger motor in it. I think it's like an L18 or L16. So the front end is a little bit shorter than the normal Ken Marys, where they usually have the 6-cylinder in it. So back in the days, they changed the chassis according to how big the engine was. So pretty amazing. Now this G-nose, long nose 240Z, price tag on it is almost 120,000 or 110,000. But it's worth it though, because you can't find any around here that are that clean. Any man's dream right here. Real Skyline GTR Coupe Hakosuka. The price tag is 19 million, 0.8, so about 20 million yen, about 200 grand. Okay, so the first car that I actually technically went and drifting in for the first time in my life was one of these. This is a 10. It's a 2.8 GT. Yep. So it's a 5M. So it's a MZ10 Toyota Soarer, MZ11, I believe, Toyota Soarer. My friend used to have a lot of these, and I remember we used to get these cars for free or get rid of them. We used to cut them up and throw them away. And now they're worth a lot of money. Big over fender Z's, another big over fender Z, and my love towards Corollas. This is super clean. This is a Corolla GTS. Well, actually, it's A86. I guess it'll be a two-door. No, it's actually a Corolla GTS, left-hand drive. Yeah, so this car was imported from the States. Crazy headers and everything is wire tucked, smoothed out. Looks fabulous. It's like a show car. Car's clean, suspension. They're showing off suspension. I think the rear, it looks like it's like a. I think they have independent rear suspension instead of the solid. Supra. These are the early '90s supercars that they sold in Japan. Still legendary cars. And this is a founder of a lot of things. Daijiro Inada's Z. Talked to him earlier. Everything here is for sale. This is actually important for the States. It's a left-hand drive. More Isuzu. The Isuzu 117 Coupe. This is Isuzu Piazza. I remember they had the turbo models of these too. And now you got the Isuzu 117 Coupe. This is, I think, the handmade version, handmade model. So I think it's like the late 70s cars. And also they got the Bellette. I think the Isuzu Sports Guys, this is actually near my house. So maybe one day I'll go and drop by, check those out. Now, all this stuff, they also have these swap meet areas and they have old school parts. I'm not gonna go through it today, but man, if you have the time, it's best to just come out to these events and check these out because you might be able to find something cool. And now you got the Ken Mary 4-door. Oh man, I know there are a lot left in the US, more than Japan, but it is super hard to find anything this clean. The Celica XX, this is a 2.8 liter. So it's got the 5M 6-cylinder twin cam in it. Oh wow, this is Ida Akira. So Akira Ida, he's a race car driver. And this is his Crown Coupe. So it's kind of resto mod. It's got the newer wheels on it, but then the car is super old school. Cosmo Sports, 1969. That's diamond right there. Isuzu 117 Coupe, and of course the Hakosukas Skyline. This is a 2.0 2-liter GTX model. It's not a GTR, but still worth a lot when it's that clean. Now here is the Z. You got the moon display here with the Honda step band. That's pretty cool, man. It looks like Mr. T would jump out of there. So you got some of the Mazdas. I think Mazda is celebrating their 100th year. Not rotary engines, but Mazda itself as a company. It's been 100 years since the company started up. So this is a 1969 Mazda Luce Coupe. And Mazda Familia hatchbacks. Man, I used to see these all over the place. And this is probably one of the most cleanest NA Roadsters. Mazda Roadster, States Mazda Miata. These cars are super fun to drive. Nissan is actually making the heritage parts. Started remaking the parts. Like you say, you got the back panel here. They used to be not available. And now you have the block. And everything is sold actually brand new, and you're able to buy everything brand new. So you got these, I think these are primered. You got the Nismo mudguard side skirts for the R32 GTRs, the Nismo ducts. And you got the hood spoiler, and also the Nismo rear wing, the mini wing they have that you put on the. I know a lot of people have the lookalikes. Okay, here we go. This is the Celica here, Toyota Celica. But I think this is the 1980 Toyota Celica XX, and it has, I think it's the 1M. It's like a 2-liter 6-cylinder engine in it. All right, my love towards R30s will go on and on and on, but this is a slant nose Tekkamen DR30 turbo, red and black. This is like one of the famous colors that this car had because of the super silhouette Skyline that they used to race back in the days. And you have a R31 Skyline. It actually has an R31 house. Very famous shop in Japan. They specialize only in these R31 Skylines, and I know the owner has a few hundred of them. So if you're looking for one, you might want to go and check them out. Now, silver GTR. There's one sitting in the shop. at my shop as well. I wish it looked like this. Maybe one day it will, but this looks like it's got a little done to it. It's got the rising headers, really clean engine bay. These cars never get too old to drive. Now we're going to something a little bit newer, but this is still older now. They're probably about 25 years old. R33 GTRs, slightly bigger, and I know this is a little bit not as popular as the 32s and 34s, but still a good car. These are pretty buff, fast. It's pretty much almost the same thing. Well, it's right in between the R32 and the R34. And now talking about the R34, these cars are crazy. I went to the track before and drove one of these. Pretty cool car. And I just noticed I was walking around and I was looking at the license plates and it says R31 House, but this is R31 House, where they specialize in a lot of the RBs, but they're like a Skyline shop. They do a lot here. And there's actually a driver that I know. He actually competes in D1 Grand Prix and FD Japan. Sobakiri.
Sobakiri Kodai です。
Yep. And that's a very unusual name in Japan. Sobakiri Kodai. Soba, you know, soba is buckwheat noodles. Osoba. と同じ感じ?
同じ感じです。
And this guy, he's not eating soba, but he's eating curry. But this is Mr. Shibata from R31 House. Like I was telling you earlier, he specializes in the R31s and all the Skylines and any of the Nissans. So, なんでそば食べてないんですか?
僕ですもんね。
そうだ、関係ないです。
Imagine ordering your food out of that prison hole right there.
Yeah, can my large Coke fit through the window?
Hey, wait, what's the new Big Mac they have here?
Grand Big
The
Mac.
Grand Big Mac.
Yeah, the Grand Big Mac won't fit.
Won't fit.
It'll fit in that one though. Dude, that's kind of cool though, because the steering is kind of towards the center of the car, or
Yeah.
you know. Well, I mean, I guess it's the shape of the car, so that's pretty cool though.
That's kind of crazy.
It's like a Big Mac special right now.
I had
Oh,
to be made
damn.
specifically
Yeah,
for
yeah.
somebody.
No, so it's probably like a Formula car or something. You know how you get into a car and it's just like a single cockpit car, the old school ones.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
shifters are on this side.
Yeah.
So
No, this is how this was made.
yeah, so I mean, this is like straight up race car, dude. We're talking all this stuff. We don't even know what we're talking about. People are gonna watch this and be like, "Yo, man, you guys are stupid." Yeah. Yeah, it's not a Corolla, so we don't know what we're talking about. No, you don't see the car? No, Rodney, you don't see the car? They said, okay, so this car was made in Japan, and if you can't see it, that means your IQ is lower than 20.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I can see it clear. It's really nice. It's really nice. This car, here, let me show you. Let me open the door for you.
Okay. Oh, cool.
See?
Damn.
Dude, check out the interior.
Oh, wow. That's tight.
Sick. This is probably the king of all Japanese classic cars. The Toyota 2000 GT. I think it's the first 6-cylinder twin cam engine that they've ever made and put it into a car. I've seen price tags for these go for like $1 million, and that's nuts. So cool.
Now we gotta do some illegal crossing.
And we don't even know where we parked. We're lost. All right, just got done with the car show. It was a good turnout. We're about to peace out, so don't forget to subscribe and like, any comments, whatever you want to say on my video. Let me know. Peace out.